And another bad no-no that people do when something does rise up on them, they squeeze it.
Right, they won't pick at it. And of course, kids are like that too,
So that's causing it to run on down your arm and to
Right.
spread further.
Right, and makes it worse.
So they kind of look like a spider bite, and a lot of people do think, well, that's a spider that's bit me or whatever, and they just let it go. And that's how it spreads across people's body and from hand to hand. I've seen people with the lesions on the side of their neck, their face, especially around the jaw area and around the forehead area.
Yeah,
So it can spread anywhere on the body.
it can be anywhere, right.
So this is very powerful. And what's some more things like we can do? Just sanitize our areas, because you got all these different infections and diseases. Even in our cooking, a lot of people get E. coli because they're, not sanitary.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that you can get so many different bacterial infections from, raw fish or raw chicken or whatever. So it's better to have a clean area, so that you're doing, meats, raw meats, and so that you're not cross-contaminating. And there again, you need to wash your hands.
I love that, and that's exactly what we're going to do. There are so many things that we can touch on today. You got all different types of flu. I remember the H1N1 flu, the bird flu, all these different types of flu. How do they spawn off of each other?
Well, viruses are going to be here when we're all dead and gone. They mutate, and so they're going to survive one way or the other. So the H1N1 was a big thing that we had to deal with, and that's probably, here again, we've got an H3N2 virus. So every year it's going to be something different, and that's why they try to include whatever they saw last year into their seasonal flu vaccine, and then in addition to, they try to get, what's going around now.
And a lot of these vaccines, aren't powerful enough to take care of the new things that's coming up.
Well, like I said, they can change so quickly, and not any vaccine is going to be 100%. That's just the way science is.
Especially if you've already got flu-like systems and think, well, I'll go get the vaccine to try to kill out the flu when you already got the flu.
Well, and then, like I said, it's just you try to do that to prevent it, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Right. And I notice a lot of times here recently, people's been getting bad sinus infections and things like that because, once again, because they've not washed their hands, they've not cleaned themselves right, and they've let it go.
Well, and then the weather has a lot to do with that. You have these really, really cool, nights, and then you have 80 degree during the day.
Right.
So that's a wide variety, and that's really stressful on the body, So, and then if you're not getting enough, sleep and not eating properly, then your immune system gets weak, and then there again, they're just waiting for an opportunity to set up housekeeping.
You took out the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, what is better ways for us to boost our immune system by eating plenty of fruits and vegetables
and drinking plenty of water.
Making
sure that you're not dehydrated. And you want to wash your fruits and vegetables just to get any type of, bacteria, whatever that might be on those, to wash those really good. But the fresher, the better.
Maybe a good multivitamin?
That wouldn't hurt.
Okay. But what people don't realize, a lot of these things, like we've touched so much on MRSA because this is so new to people, what a lot of people don't realize, you can take multivitamins, and this is a total different thing. It's not for MRSA. MRSA is a bacteria that will goes from person to person, and it can even be on this table, and you wrap your hands across the table, and if you don't clean your hands in a certain period, you've got it.
Right. Or if you scratch your eye or whatever.
What about if you visit the hospitals? I know they keep the hospitals very clean, but there's a lot of people coming in and out there.
If you notice there's going to be hand sanitizers on the wall, you need to use those going in and going out.
Right. And I've noticed that in a lot of public businesses now, like the banks and different shopping centers, they have it right at the door.
And that's to not only to protect them, but to protect, their customers or clientele or whatever.
People don't realize how dangerous this is because it's such a widespread thing now, and it's getting worse simply because people's not educated about it.
Right, and the main thing is it's always, that staff has always been there. It's just that since recently in the hospitals is when it started becoming resistant to things. We went from methicillin treating Staph aureus to using vancomycin. Well, now we're starting to see vancomycin resistant Staph aureus. So, and then probably after that, the next bacteria that, it's going to be resistant to another. It's a kind of a vicious cycle.